Okay, and we are live. What is going on, everyone? It's time for another week of the Den of Sin. And my button's working! Yay! Okay, so we're back, of course, and I have the usual suspects here. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves? We'll start with Real Gamer here.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Game27, and appreciate you for letting me join. Got some interesting topics to talk about tonight, and just whatever.
Fantastic. I think you deserve a. Let's give you one of these. So, all right, Sinister, how about you?
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Sinister here, and just back in the Den of Sin. That's all I got.
All right, Retro.
What's up, YouTube? Retro Bro here, chilling, dying like 20 times deep in Fire Emblem.
That's because you're a scrub. Since you died so many times, you get one of these. And of course, Mr. Squidward. Nick, how are you doing today?
Hey, this is Nick from Gamer Nick Incorporated, here for another episode of Den of Sin. Thank you for joining us as we do this podcast. And hey, when you're done here, go check out the series finale of America. It's happening tonight.
Oh,
all right. All right,
That was awesome.
Going in, of course. And yes, the
Nice.
elections are going on, and it is very depressing. So, well, not for me. I live in Canada, so for me, it's quite hilarious. But for you guys, I imagine it's very depressing. So why don't we talk about some video games, because that is what's exciting to us, of course. So, as you guys know, we will always start with what we've been playing since last week, since we've seen each other. So let's get into that. Let's talk about some games. Let's see what we've been liking, what we've not been liking. When we start with Sinister.
Sorry. Games I've been playing. Still 2K16. A little bit of NCAA Tecmo Bowl there, just to mix things up. That's basically about it. Just basically took the rest of my week over.
Oh, weren't you playing Battlefield?
That was like a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't. I've been trying to mix things up so that I don't get burned out, and I don't want to get burned out on them too soon.
Okay. Okay, so sports games. All right.
Yeah.
Exciting. Anything you're looking forward to gaming wise, or?
I like to try that Dishonored 2. Watch Dogs. It's piqued my interest a little bit.
Dishonored 2's this week, right?
there's a lot of games coming out.
Too many fucking games.
I know Watch Dogs is next week, but as far as Dishonored 2, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was this week. Maybe it's Friday.
But
I don't know.
But other ones, like the other games I'm interested in, they're already out. But I'll wait till the price goes down before I get them.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit out, man. It's too much to choose from. And we already saw the biggest casualty, of course, being Titanfall, being a massive flop. But okay, so Retro, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Xenoverse 2 a lot. I have two of my tunes at level 80 right now, and I'm working on a third one, the Earthling, and it's like level 43 right now. I also just got Fire Emblem's Fate Conquest like last night, so I've been playing that a bit. I'm on chapter 6.
Oh, damn. How are you liking that?
It's pretty good. And y'all were right. Conquest is hard. Also, I saw all the different modes in this game. Like, it was like casual, super casual, normal, and like a mode called hell mode. So I laughed. I said, there's no way I'm playing casual or super casual. And I picked the normal mode, and I've not been past chapter 6 in the last hour.
Damn.
Damn. That is unfortunate. But do you like the game, though? Is it fun?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. And I was looking online. You can change classes and stuff. So when I get the chance, I'm going to make a ninja.
Oh, shit. That's pretty cool. Okay, so that's okay. You've been playing it quite a bit, I guess. Let's go to Nick. What have you been playing?
I am still stuck on playing Mafia 3.
And any progress since last time you've been playing, or?
I think I'm almost there. I don't know. I don't know how long this game. This game is longer than I think it should be. But then again, I haven't really had a chance to. I don't like. don't play games a lot as much as I should because I like to like sleep and watch TV too. So takes me a while.
Those things are unnecessary. Okay, so
but yeah, other than that,
I mean,
it's still doing pretty good. I'm like like I said, it gets a little repetitive, but I think I'm at the home stretch here. I hope. I don't know.
But you're still liking it, like.
Yeah, it's fun. Like I think I have like one more district I need to take over before I finally get to the end of the game. So.
Oh damn, getting there.
Hopefully, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Okay, so Real, what have you been playing?
Played a little Twilight Princess a few days ago, but I guess since I got my Xbox One S, I've been on it since. And like I was telling y'all last week, man, they had that good sale going on with Xbox One S. Of course, it comes with that game plus an additional game. So, I paid $300 for Xbox One S plus Battlefield 1 and Titanfall too. So that was a good deal. Yeah, so that's what I've been playing.
Talk about that for a little bit. What's your experience so far with Xbox One S upgrading from the standard Xbox? Do you notice a difference?
The difference as far as the
like the overall experience, has that been relatively the same for you? Because like I upgraded too, and for me, like the experience has been mostly the same. I don't really notice anything. But again, I don't have a 4K TV. I don't think you have one either, right?
No, I don't have one either. So it's basically the same thing, to be honest. So I don't think it's different. The size, the look of it looks sexy. You know. But,
yeah, it's a lot better.
Yeah, 40% smaller.
The controller's nicer too. I like that they added the grips.
Until I get my 4K/HDR TV, I won't notice it.
For the most part, yeah. Okay, so you've been playing Battlefield 2, right?
Yeah. I just beat the campaign like a couple of minutes ago. Right now, I'm playing multiplayer, getting my ass whooped.
What do you think about Battlefield? You like it?
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, what class are you using?
What class?
Yeah, because I've been mostly using the medic.
I don't even know. I just jumped in.
Probably for you, just use assault just to start off with, just to get a feel for it.
That'll be the easiest to start with.
Yeah, because I mean, I wouldn't choose the medic just to start off with, because I mean you have to be like a sharpshooter. Plus, you gotta be quick with your revives and stuff. But you can throw a healing packs and stuff all you want. But
hey, my first kill. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's why I've been playing. Having a blast, man. I put in a couple hours on Titanfall too. I'm still trying to get that beat that campaign, so I'm gonna start on that tomorrow. Then after that, I'm just gonna continue and try to play the multiplayer, see how I like it. But yeah, that's what I've been playing these past few days, man. It's pretty cool.
Okay, that's good. Just give me a sec here. Okay, and for me, I've been playing. I played Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I rented that one, played through the campaign. It's not bad. Like it's not as bad as everyone's making it out to be, but it's not great. It doesn't feel like Call of Duty. It feels like they want to be Halo, but they'll never be Halo. There's a couple missions which do feel like Call of Duty. There's a few of them, but for the most part, it feels like a different game. There's actually a lot of space battles, which is bizarre. You actually fly around in a jet and you have dogfights. And the funniest part is it's way better than Star Fox. So I found that to be hilarious. The story, I don't know. It was so whatever. Like the story is so irrelevant. But the robot friend, his name is Ethan. He was awesome. He was probably my favorite character in the campaign. It's an okay game. And now I'm playing Battlefield 1. So when I returned to Call of Duty, I picked up Battlefield. Battlefield's awesome. I'm really liking the campaign. I finished story 1. I believe there's 5 different stories, so I'm on story 2 right now. And so far, the game is a lot of fun. I'm not really a big Battlefield guy, but like the graphics are nice, the gameplay is nice, and the story is a lot better, at least from what I played so far, compared to Call of Duty. I don't know if I'll play any multiplayer for it, I just don't really care. But so far, my experience with Battlefield 1 is it's very good. Excellent game. And then when I'm done that, I'll try out Titanfall 2. And other than that, of course, Paladins. Always playing a little bit of Paladins here and there whenever Neo's playing or Retro's playing. Well, that's about it for games. Mostly just got Call of Duty and Battlefield and just shooters.
So there's one thing. There's one thing I also wanted to mention. Like, like the guy on the cover.
Yeah,
he's part of the Harlem Hellfighters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, but the thing is, I was disappointed. It's like he only has very limited action, while the rest of the story, of course, you'll see.
Oh yeah, I had a problem with that too. Like, some people was complaining about the black guy, on the face of the, on the cover of the game, but he gets a little less, playtime during the campaign. Yeah, he don't even really get a story. It's just basically what you call it, prologue, whatever.
Yeah.
Before the prologue, and
Oh, he's only in the prologue.
Well,
basically.
And well,
what do you play on? Though we're not going to spoil it for you.
What do you mean?
I mean, you'll see him again, but just what you play on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. I'll get to it eventually.
Hey, just to let you guys know, in Mafia 3, you plays a black guy the whole time. So
he's not black. He's Puerto Rican.
He's Dominican, actually. It's like half.
Oh yeah, Dominican. My bad.
Well, they still from African descent.
Right.
Puerto Rican, Dominicans, Haitians, still African descent.
Okay, real. Take what you can get. So why don't we go on to the first topic?
Hey, they do explain that in the game.
Yeah, don't
black
they
is
make
black.
it very clear that he's not African American, like very early in the game?
Yeah, but they cover all that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Not like it actually matters, but why don't we talk about? We got a couple topics. What do you guys want to talk about? You want to talk about Call of Duty first? You want to talk about Capcom and Nintendo, or do you want to talk about PlayStation Pro? I'll let you guys choose.
Oh, let's start with Call of Duty. That news you said was fantastic that we spoke about earlier.
You guys good? We going with Call of Duty first?
Go with it.
All right, fuck them. Let's go with Call of Duty. All right, so Call of Duty Infinite Warfare launch sales are down 50% compared to Black Ops 3 in the UK. Holy shit. Now, Call of Duty being as big as Call of Duty is, even with a damn near 50% drop, it's still the #1 selling shooter in the UK. That shows you how big Call of Duty is. Even with 50% less sales over Black Ops 3, it's still the biggest shooter, beating out Battlefield, beating out Titanfall 2, beating out everything. And it's only using 50% of its sales. That's the kind of juggernaut Call of Duty is. But this is crazy. That is a huge drop in sales. And obviously we know from before, this version of Call of Duty had the absolute least amount of pre-orders ever in Call of Duty history. So people are just not liking this game. People are shitting on it everywhere, and it's starting to show as far as the sales go. In terms of Call of Duty games, obviously, if you can reach even half of what Call of Duty normally gets, you're killing it. You're doing really good. But in terms of Call of Duty sales, this is terrible. Has Call of Duty finally peaked? Are they done? Or was this just a mishap and they'll be back to normal? Because presumably with the next Call of Duty, it's going to be boots to the ground. It's going to be normal Call of Duty. What do you guys think about this? Let's go with you, Retro, because I know you're amped about this.
Okay, here's my thing. This is actually great news, and I hope that a lot of other companies that make yearly games actually take note of this and realize that when you're making yearly games, because it comes out so often, you can only be so innovative for a long time. And I think we can be honest, Call of Duty had an excellent run. So it only makes sense to decline so much now. I mean, like, Advanced Warfare, as far as the premise for story mode, looks cool and all, but now it's almost going into the territory of other first-person shooters. So it's like, why not just buy those first-person shooters for what they're providing now? Like, I can understand with sports series that they do that because they're sports, and sports really don't change in real life as far as gameplay goes, so you can't expect it from the game. And
Right.
for those of you thinking, hey, Retro, but doesn't Pokemon do the same thing? I would agree Pokemon does do the same thing, but there's only really two reasons that Pokemon gets away with it. One being that as much as there's adult Pokemon fans that will get mad at me for saying this, Pokemon is made for a children's audience more, so they can sell it like hotcakes no matter what to that audience. And then the other thing they do is they make competitive battling for adults to keep their adult crowd at the same time. So they imagine to keep casual fans and hardcore fans. Because I don't know if you guys know, but competitive battling in Pokemon is really advanced. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of multipliers and stuff. And if you just calculate all the numbers, you can practically beat anybody just by knowing numbers alone. That's actually why in competitive battling, they give you like anywhere from 60 seconds
No, you're
to
starting to cut
2
out a little
minutes to
bit.
decide in between your turns. That gives you time to do damage calcs, like with the Pokemon damage calculators and stuff.
Okay.
To a certain Pokemon based on their stats and stuff before you actually attack.
Okay, that's interesting.
I personally don't think doing a game yearly is a real for a lot of companies. But
Yeah,
that's
well,
all I
that's
got.
why even Ubisoft stopped it with Assassin's Creed because they're just seeing like the sales are dropping and the quality's dropping.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think it's good. Like, you don't need every game to come out every year. I guess it's easier with Call of Duty because it is just a shooter game, and they do have 3 separate teams working around the clock on it. So each game actually does have 3 years of development. But at the same time, like, each version is so similar to the last, even though they've been working on it for 3 years. It's like it doesn't make any sense. But okay, what do you think about it, Real?
Yeah, basically what Retro was saying, like when you have these yearly release games, like it's just so much you can come up with as far as innovation. Because I didn't have an issue with Advanced Warfare, but the deal with that is you could tell they copied some of the mechanics of Titanfall with the double jump and the wall, all that wall running and shit. You know, but I didn't have an issue with the game. You know, it was cool, but you know. Call of Duty, as far as the quality, has went down since Ghost, man. It hadn't been the same. And whenever Black Ops 3 came out...
The last really good one was Black Ops 2, then it's been downhill.
Yeah, it's been downhill. And then whenever Black Ops 3, the reason why Black Ops 3 did so well because of the name, Black Ops. Even though the quality of it was way lower than Black Ops 2, it still killed it because of the name. And
Black Ops 3 is terrible.
I think they need to take the route of Ubisoft and take a year off and just think. Just try to come up with a great idea to bring, you know, I won't say bring them back because they never went nowhere, but they still doing well. But since they are dropping in sales in the UK, and since the pre-orders are way down, then this should be their wake up call to try to make a better Call of Duty game, especially with EA coming at trolling with a better shooter. Call of Duty has always been the best and well known to have had the best first person shooter games. But since Battlefield came out and dethroned them this year, you know, Battlefield, it's always a dogfight between Battlefield and Call of Duty. But Call of Duty always wins. It always wins. But this year, they don't win. I know people said that Call of Duty going to outselling them. I don't think so. This year, it's going to be Battlefield. Matter of fact, they already breaking records. Matter of fact, they surpassed the first week of sales. What was it? Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield 4 combined. Yep. Combined, they outsold that. That's because of the hype that they had with this game. You know, just like Call of Duty, they set records of dislikes on YouTube. And I think Battlefield 1 set records of likes in their trailers, and it was crazy, man. So this is why it's very important, you know, to basically just take a break. Just take a break. You know what? Even though Battlefield Hardline came out last year, that was not really a Battlefield game. It was just basically like a cop game. But they did take a break from a first person shooter last year. So maybe Call of Duty need to take the same approach and try to come up with something new, man. You know, because everybody's sick and tired of playing the same thing every year, man. I love good stories. I just beat Battlefield 1 like a few minutes ago, and I think this is the best. This is one of the best war stories I've ever played, man. Like seriously, I hadn't had this much fun, man. So I really recommend this game. If you hadn't played Battlefield 1 yet, play it. It's a great game. right now I'm playing the multiplayer, I'm having fun. It's a good game, man. So try it out, man. So that's basically all I got. They need to just whoever's working on this Treyarch or whoever, they need to just take a year off and think and come up with something better. But then again, Activision ain't really got no games besides Call of Duty, so that's probably why. So I don't know, man. That's just my little 2 cents on it.
Okay. What do you think about this, Nick? As our resident dude, bro.
As much as I like to sit here and try to celebrate the fact that maybe Call of Duty is finally in the decline and it needed to be in like 10 years ago, I think one thing that might be turning people off from this game is the whole space aspect. Because I think when people like play Call of Duty games, they're thinking more of realistic type settings. And I think to a lot of them, space is just like too nerdy for them or some shit like that. That's just a theory. I don't know. Like I said, I'm hoping that realize that the Call of Duty game every year, or maybe they're finally getting sick of the series, and maybe other games will finally get more attention. But it's hard to tell at this point. But I think people are just finally burnt out of Call of Duty. And especially since, like, when Battlefield came out, like, usually when Battlefield comes out alongside Call of Duty, Battlefield usually ends up doing better that year. But Battlefield doesn't come out as much as Call of Duty does. They come out like every 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
like Call of Duty,
they're not every year.
It's like a yearly thing. So maybe some people get Call of Duty to get the first person fix when Battlefield isn't readily available. So when it finally comes out, they're like, okay, I can finally get a Battlefield game again. Forget Call of Duty.
That's possible.
So, a couple of different ways to look at it here. And I think a lot of people were kind of pissed off that when they pulled that whole thing about, oh, you need to buy this game to get the Modern Warfare remaster.
That's when I canceled my pre-order.
And I'm thinking, like, a lot of people were just like, finally, people were like, well, no, I'm not going to fall for that. I mean, there are still people that did it. We all know who they are. But anyway, there's like still some people are like, yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I don't need the game that badly if you're going to pull that crap off. I'm just like, fuck it. So I think there's a lot of factors that led into, I don't think it's just one thing. I think there's a lot of factors that led into like
a bunch of shit.
Like the lower sales more than usual this time around. Next year, I don't know. We'll see. Because next year they're not going to have a Battlefield or a Titanfall to compete with. They'll probably be alone in the whole in their yearly release of the first-person shooter thing. So we'll see. I think it just end up being like a bad year. It might pick up again next year depending on competition and how they play the game.
We'll see. Like obviously Call of Duty has the name, so like they can bring it back if they want. Like they just need to get away from this space shit.
We didn't bring up one thing.
The only thing I don't like about the Call of Duty, well, I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. What I really don't like about it is like it makes the sales it makes, which is fine. That's not a problem. But then like if like every other game that comes out doesn't make those numbers, it's considered a failure.
Right.
It's like that's not true at all. I mean, not every game is going to be a like million seller, and a lot of games can still sell decently under a million and still be possible for like a sequel or continuation of the series.
Yeah.
But now that's what I really never liked about the whole Call of Duty thing is because
now all the devs are
it sent a dangerous precedent as far as game sales go.
Mm-hmm.
And Grand Theft Auto, this game is like Call of Duty, so it must be a failure. And that's not even the case most of the time.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that don't fail, but at the same time, like
because that's like saying if because a Ferrari's fast, if any other car isn't nearly as fast, that means that car is a failure. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's just stupid. Like that doesn't make sense. Not every game is gonna sell like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. It's just not possible. Not every game is gonna sell 20 million.
Think about it is like you can get a Ferrari I want, but you still gotta obey the speed limit.
Exactly.
So it's like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
There's one thing we didn't bring up a while ago. We didn't bring up the pricing of it. Maybe a lot of people didn't like that the fact that the standard price is $80, so that could play a huge role.
There is a $60 version, but also the fact that there's
but it doesn't come with Modern Warfare Remaster. That's a difference.
Yeah, but
everybody wants it. Infinite Warfare by itself for $60.
I'm kind of worried about this $80 game thing though, because eventually if that sells enough,
It's not gonna
Companies
sell enough.
everybody wants to buy games at $80 now.
No, it's
Well,
not gonna
that's
happen.
2 games though.
Like, yeah, they're adding extra stuff in there, like an extra game or whatever, so you can pay for it. But eventually, I think they're going to see it as, oh, hey, look, the $80 version sold more than the $60 version. So guess what? Games are $80 now. And I can only imagine what's going to.
I don't know about that because like they do have to put 2 games in there. We'll see.
Well, I might be over exaggerating, but I still think it's something to worry about.
Everything is something to worry about with these fucking devs.
Yeah.
There was one other thing. Where was it? Infinite Warfare first weekend player count is just 1/4 of Black Ops 3. Let me find the numbers here. Black Ops 3 made it as high as number 4 on the Steam charts last year, peaking at 63,681. And where's Black Ops here? They don't have the number for Call of Duty. Oh, there it is. Okay, and Infinite Warfare only had at peak hours 15,015 compared to Black Ops 3, which had 63,000 on opening weekend. And that's just on Steam. That's crazy. That's a huge drop. So it's not this obviously is not just UK. This is Steam users in general. So going from 63,000 on opening weekend down to 15,000 from Black Ops 3 down to Infinite Warfare. That's a huge drop. So it looks like it's not just in UK where the sales are pretty bad. So it's interesting. I think it'll sell well eventually. I think there's just too many fucking games coming out right now. But who knows? We'll see. What are your thoughts on this, Sinister?
I mean, just right now, I mean, just people just getting burned out on COD. I mean, I mean, like the $60 version ain't selling so great because everybody, been buying the $80 version because they want the remaster. They're gonna go with and it's like, hey, I want more bang from my buck, but popping from their eyes. But I mean, one thing Call of Duty has like slightly edge over Battlefields is in the story, the single player, the storyline. But with Battlefield 1, yeah, there's a good story there because it's based on something from history. I mean, but I say Battlefield may improve on that storyline. Improve on their single player story wise.
Yeah,
with their great, still improving on their what they've done well with the multiplayer. Oh my goodness, it'll blow COD out the water. But people are still gonna go to COD because they're hardcore. I mean, I don't see how some are still even defending it, even though the quality's been going down. I mean, just like you mentioned earlier, it went down ever since Ghost came out. It just started going downhill. I mean, it's trash. I mean, to me, Ghost is like the worst one out of the whole bunch. But moving forward, but I don't know, but this new one, it's like Halo and Destiny, and plus stuff they took from Titanfall and Advanced Warfare. Just like they don't have nothing new. It's nothing original at all. It's just stuff they took from other games.
Yeah,
and I mean, Ubisoft was smart. It's like, hey, we need to chill about this. Releasing games annually. I mean, come on, look, Unity was the worst thing they came out with, and so they had to take a chill pill and just like, hey, look. Then they came back with Syndicate. That was good. And I said, hey, man, we need to take a break and start, hey, let's start from scratch, like come up with something new and have the experience last a while. But I mean, COD and, Activision, they ain't going to do that. Come on.
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is Call of Duty is the Madden of Activision. It's the Madden of shooters.
Yeah.
Let's be real about that. No pun intended, but still, I mean, it's just...
No, it's a FIFA of shooters. Madden is Battlefield. If you want to go by popularity,
I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's all you got on that?
Yeah. I mean, they're both popular.
Anybody got anything else, or are we gonna switch gears?
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right, let's switch gears over to the PlayStation 4 Pro. We'll end with Nintendo. So PlayStation 4 Pro is coming out soon. Reviews have been kind of mixed. Some people like it. Some people don't think it's worth the upgrade. I don't know. It seems like if you don't have a PlayStation, this is the clear choice to get. But it seems like a lot of people are saying if you already have a PlayStation 4, the upgrade just isn't worth it unless you already have your 4K HDR TV. But even then, like a lot of the games, it's just not worth the difference. There's been a lot of frame rate tests, Digital Foundry and other websites where sometimes the PS4 Pro, when it's running on the higher resolutions, it's like dipping below 30 frames per second, even worse than the standard PS4. And if you play a game from your normal PS4 onto the Pro that has not been patched by the developers, the experience is identical. Because on the Xbox One S, even if you just put a normal game in, it will run slightly better. Not a huge difference, but the processor like makes the game run a little smoother. The Pro, for some reason, is limiting that unless the developers go in and specifically patch the game, which I think is weird. Like, you have newer hardware, it should just automatically make the game run at least a little better. So that's kind of weird. What are your guys' thoughts on this? The Pro reviews, what people are thinking about it. Is it worth upgrading? And we can talk about that other thing later. Why don't we start with you, Real? Because I know you were considering a Pro.
Yeah, I'm still am, but I'm at that wait and see factor because like after that little interview they had with with Sony was the other day, and when they said that it's basically up to the developers or publishers on whether if they want to charge to put that patch on these games, that was very alarming. Yes, we know that like 40 or 50 some games was announced to get patches for day one. But what about the other games? It's a lot more than 40 or 50 games. It's a lot more than that. What they're gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Stuff like that got me thinking there's gonna be microtransactions of patches. That's what's gonna happen, man. And that's very alarming. Like, I would like to have a PS4 Pro, but what's stopping me right now, not only just because of that, I don't have a 4K TV, so why do I want to rush out and spend an extra $400 and I don't even have a 4K TV? Yes, I know. I just bought the Xbox One S. Yes, it upscales to 4K. But I bought it because I just wanted the better looking console. And of course, it offers a lot more for a small price. And plus, I got 2 brand new games with it. So it was a really good deal. I spent $300 for this console that comes with Battlefield 1 and Titanfall. And like I spent $400 for a console and didn't come with no games. I don't think it's bundled with no games. I'm not aware of that.
As of right now, it doesn't seem to be.
Yeah, so I go for the good deals. If the Pro had a really good deal, bundled with a lot of games, I consider that. But what's really pissing me off about this whole entire situation is that Sony got 3 brand new consoles this fall, 0 exclusives. That doesn't make sense. If you got more hardware coming out,
They got Last Guardian.
Okay, 1 exclusive. Okay, but still, you got your hardware still outweighs your first party games, and that's pretty pathetic. That's pretty pathetic, and it's just kind of hard to want to stay on that Sony hype train. I've never been on that hype train. The reason why, because I like games. The games, basically majority of the games that I'm playing on my Xbox One. Yes, you can play on your PlayStation. So why should I go crazy over getting a PlayStation Pro and there's no new games? I can play the same games on my Xbox One. It just doesn't make sense. And the whole entire patches deal, like, that kind of really pissed me off, man. Because
we'll get into that after. This is more of just an overall console. What are your thoughts about it after seeing the reviews and what the reviewers are saying about the experience coming up from the normal PS4?
Some of those videos, I see a slight difference, but I don't really see I don't know, man. Maybe I need to get a 4K monitor. I just don't really see much of a difference. Yes, I see a little better textures, but since it's supposed to be double the power of the PS4, maybe I need to get a 4K monitor so I can actually see, the difference, because I really don't see as much.
Well, yeah, definitely. You're not going to see it on your 1080p TV.
Yeah.
Because it's not in 4K.
Yeah,
of course. But
that's what I'm saying. So basically, like I said, one of these days I'm gonna get a 4K TV. I'm just not gonna go crazy on getting all this damn hardware. This Scorpio and the Pro, and I ain't got no 4K TV. Like, it's kind of, if you want the best experience, just I'm gonna have to wait on it. I don't want to just get it because everybody else is getting it. You know, if I got the TV, you know, to match the quality of the console, then yes, that's fine. I'm not gonna have no 720p. And since the Scorpio and the Pro is the hot topic, I got to get it. But then again, my TV don't even go to 4K, so I'm gonna just wait until I get 4K TV before I talk about Scorpio or a Pro. That's just how I feel about it.
The Pro does actually improve your experience on 1080p TVs. If the big caveat though is if the developers take advantage of it, because unfortunately Sony has not mandated any requirements for what you can do with the power of the Pro. So like they don't have to improve the 1080p version. They can literally just make a 4K version of their game, and then if you play it on a 1080p TV, it could be exactly the same. Some games are taking advantage of it. Like Tomb Raider has several modes. So if you play on a 1080p TV, you can play, I believe they call it performance mode, where it's running at 1080p and 50 to 60 frames per second, somewhere around there. Whereas on the normal PS4, it's going to be 30 frames per second. So to me, that's a legitimate upgrade. That is something good. Or you can play the 4K mode, which will be 4K, but it's again at 30 frames. So to me, the 4K mode is fucking garbage because 30 frames per second is just dog shit. But as long as they have that 1080p 60 frames per second mode, that would be great. Like if they do it on all the games. But the problem is that Sony's not mandating it. They're allowing the developers to choose, and that's just stupid. Allowing these lazy fucking developers to choose how to use the power. Because obviously what they want to do, because Ubisoft pretty much confirmed this, Ubisoft doesn't want to do 60 frames per second games because they claim it's too much work. So they would rather just have their games at 30 because these guys are fucking lazy. So that what they would rather do is port over the ultra settings and high textures and all that shit from PC over to the Pro mode because that'll be easier since it's x86 architecture anyways, and then just call it a day. Same frame rate as a standard PS4, 30 frames, sub 30, 20, 10 frames, whatever the fuck it is, but in new shiny 4K, and then that's kind of it. And they can get away with this because, again, Sony has not set any boundaries for them. They kind of just said, as long as it's on par frame rate wise with the standard PS4 for the same game, then you're okay. That's fucking dumb. They should make these guys do two modes, 1080p 60 mode, and then 4K 30 or whatever the fuck, checkerboard 30 frames. Sony needs to crack the whip. You can't allow these guys too much free reign because they're going to do the easiest way possible, and that's fucking dumb. Microsoft's doing the same thing, unfortunately. Microsoft's allowing these guys to do whatever they want with the Scorpio. And that's stupid. Phil Spencer needs to change that because allowing these guys to do what they want is a mistake. But what are your thoughts on this, Nick? I know you're not.
He's muted.
Super. Oh, he's muted. All right. Well, let's go to you, Retro, because you're a big PC guy. So.
Oh wait, sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you are here. Okay. Well, I want to hear Nick's opinion on this because I know he's not been big on these consoles. What are your thoughts on the Pro so far from what we know about it?
This sounds like what I thought it would be from the beginning that I've heard about it, a big fucking mistake. And they still couldn't improve the things that they said they're going to improve. So it looks just like another system full of broken fucking promises.
Yeah.
Like with the PS4, all games will be 1080p and 60 frames per second, and that'll make you a better gamer. And now here off the Pro, and it's just like they still suck. I mean, I don't get it. These people are just
focusing on 4K was a mistake.
That they're promising that first of all, I don't trust either one of these two to do 4K gaming like at all right now because they could barely do 1080p if at all on the two new systems they have.
Yeah,
and and they had plenty of practice with the PS3 to get this right, and now they got the supposedly more new power systems that's supposed to allow all this, and it hasn't happened yet. And I'm supposed to expect them to get 4K gaming or 4K visuals perfectly right off the bat. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. You're fooling nobody with that. Okay, well, you're not fooling me. You're fooling some people.
You're fooling a lot of fools.
So I'm just like, really, you guys barely get like the 1080p 60 frames per second shit you promised to begin with, and now I'm supposed to show you a 4K. And from hearing, oh yeah, they're 4K, but it's still gonna be 30 frames per second. Yeah, good job for doing absolutely fucking nothing.
Yep.
And yet somehow finding a way to charge us more money and put more, air quotes, more powerful hardware in the system, and it's still going to be barely capable to do the half the shit that you say it can do. What the fuck? And yet there are people out there who are just like completely jizzing fucking rainbows over this. They're sitting there talking about fucking titty flops and secret sauce and glitter jizz or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. But these guys just, oh my god.
Absolute
like, just gonna get
mouth-breathing idiots.
And I don't. And like, most of the time, like the technology they're talking about, they have no fucking idea what they're talking about.
Yeah,
I have told you over and over again. I have no idea what the hell most people are talking about. But all these people are suddenly hardware and computer experts because they like learned a buzzword, the latest buzzword that the internet teaches them, and they're gonna sit here and tell me that, oh yeah, I know all about technology and gaming, and this is gonna be. It's like, shut the fuck up, because you know what? At the end of the day, guess what? Even if they do manage to nail the visuals and do everything they say they're gonna do visually and powerful with these consoles, you know what's not gonna change? Everything fucking else. Because guess what? You're still gonna get ridiculously priced season passes. Still gonna get rushed games released to have be patched like 20 times before you actually get the perfect product, and you're still gonna get Game of the Year editions a year fucking later. So you know if this changes absolutely fucking nothing.
Yep. Pretty much. What are your thoughts on this, Retro?
My thing is not surprised. This is something we've been talking about for a long time. For quite a few podcasts, we were talking about how the PS4 Pro wouldn't be that great and not to let y'all's hopes up because it wasn't going to do too much. And we also said that if Microsoft did deliver with the Scorpio, it was going to be a price that you guys wouldn't like. So I'm going to say it again, just to get it clear for you guys. If the Xbox Scorpio is less than $700, don't expect your 4K to be good. If the Xbox Scorpio is above $700 for the console, which a lot of you guys won't like, then expect you to have decent 4K. Like, one of the things I don't really understand is, like, I understand a lot of people don't understand specs because I'm not a professional with specs. I understand stuff to, like, an intermediate to high-class beginner level, so nothing really special. But here's a way to think about it that I think everyone will understand. If you think about a car, right, or any other machine, there are parts that will make the car perform better, or the other machine, but that's just the thing. It's parts. Like, there is no miracle one piece going to make it fantastic if you're not making upgrades to other parts of the car. And it's just the same thing with the console. Like, you can't just have higher level teraflops and do nothing to fix your CPU and GPU and expect it to just be like some magic change that's going to fix everything. All of those pieces need to be addressed too. So I don't understand why people keep talking about teraflops and why it's such a big deal when balance is the key to making this whole thing a lot better.
Right.
On top of that,
with the Pro, the bottleneck is that there's the CPU. They didn't upgrade it. They only upgraded the GPU and then they overclocked the CPU. And that's why you're still getting shitty frame rates.
And if people don't understand overclocking, I'm going to give you the perfect example to help you understand. Overclocking is like having no energy and trying to run a marathon. So you take an energy pill to give you a little bit extra energy that you really don't have, and you're trying to run past your limits when you've already reached your limits. That's more or less what overclocking does. And in a lot of cases, when you overclock things to make it run a little faster, you do tend to have crashes in between. Like, if you overclocked your computer just to, say, watch a movie or something, probably not. But if you're playing like a really highly extensive game, whether it's in frame rate or graphic overclock, you're probably going to have a few crashes at some point, or some type of lag that it's not really even worth doing the overclock altogether. So I'm personally not a really big fan on the whole overclocking thing. Like, the way I see it right now too, the graphics for the consoles right now aren't even bad. Like, frame rates need to be fixed. There
Yeah,
needs
the
to be
frame
more
rate needs to be fixed.
There need to be more first party games for all the consoles, stuff like that to make it more like appetizing. But for some reason, they're doing all this on the hardware and not focusing on the games, which is the most important thing. And I
Yep.
don't see why that's important to the gaming community. Like, why have the best hardware if you're not gonna have outstanding games? Like, I understand the psychology of people doing that because they just want better. Because I have friends right now that I personally think are stupid for getting really fast cars when you know you're not going to be able to speed anywhere. And if you are speeding anywhere, then you're getting a bunch of tickets, so you're spending a lot of extra money. But I guess people just want to feel like they're better than other people. So even if they're not using something, if they know that it's supposed to be better than what the other person has, they just want that feeling of being above them.
Right.
But that's all I got.
Okay. Sinister, what were your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's just to me, it's just more money being wasted by Sony as usual. Then letting their greed and their ego getting the better of them, which it had been the past ever since over the summer. I mean, it just come on. I mean, they released the Slim, which is a fail. That VR. I mean, people, it's gonna be faded out soon because people are gonna be over that. And now you got the Pro. They only improved one thing, and it seems like everything else is like nothing but lies and propaganda. It's just propaganda. Just I mean, stuff that's they're trying to sell out there just to make trying to make back that money, but they're doing it the wrong way. I mean, it's just. I mean, just like I mean, this just don't care about the consumers. It's just like trying to force the stuff down their throat, trying to get people to buy this stuff. And it's just wasting money. I was like, man, it's just going about it the wrong way. It's like this is how you're trying to win your customers over. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. It's like only those who drink the Kool-Aid will support it. They go out in droves and buy it and buy that crap. But any smart consumer, like like really, like you mentioned, you want to wait and see. Like, okay, it's like they made any improvements here and there, blah blah blah. Say how this performance, like you probably want to see it up close. Like you want to see it for yourself if it's really worth your money or not. But here's the thing: but those who currently have a PS4, some of them are not going to trade it in because they don't want to get burned. It's like, why should I upgrade what I have now? Upgrade to a new one. It's like, what's wrong with the one I have? I mean, the Pro only improved in one area, and all the rest is just lies. But like I said, it's just right now, just the way they're doing this gen. I mean, Sony is just like freaking Nintendo of this current gen. It's
true.
But that's all I have.
Well, yeah, and no, because it's one thing that Sony pisses me off. It's some things Nintendo pisses me off, but they both can learn from each other. They got the most powerful system with Sony, but no games. Only games they get third-party games. They hardly get first-party games.
So they can't afford
and you get first-party games with Nintendo all the time. That's what I respect about them. If they had third-party support, full-on third-party support, then what's the point of having a PlayStation or an Xbox unless you just want a Halo or an Uncharted? Nintendo has just about all the they got a lot of.
The problem is Sony and Nintendo are in complete opposite problems. Sony, their idiot fan base only buys a portion of their first party titles. Fucking Yoshida said it at the beginning of this generation. You're gonna see less first party titles because I think he said something crazy like 8 out of 10 of their first party titles don't sell. Yeah. And then on Nintendo's side, most of their first-party titles sell well. There's obviously there's sections like Color Splash and Star Fox. Those sold like shit. Federation dog shit sold like shit. And there's a couple other ones, but for the most part, their first-party titles sell well. Like Mario Kart 8 million. That's the highest-selling exclusive title this generation on the smallest install base out of all the consoles. But at the same time, the Nintendo fan base are a bunch of fucking weirdos that don't buy anything other than Nintendo games, so they don't touch the third-party games, which is the real reason why Nintendo doesn't get third-party games. It's not because these guys hate Nintendo. That's just stupid. It's because the fan base doesn't buy third-party games for the most part.
But
they have completely opposite problems.
I mean, the reason I brought that up, why I see I mean, because Nintendo used that bully the market tactics. Of course, Sony likes to lie and cheat and steal and stuff. That's why I compared it to but but they're two different animals. Like when it comes to businesses and stuff like that. But Sony's just like Eddie Guerrero likes to lie, cheat, and steal. But
Yeah, that's true.
Eddie Guerrero.
Sony's very shady about how they're handling 4K. It's not real. It's fake. It's checkerboarding, which is not a bad thing. Like, it's not terrible. It still looks good, but like,
but
it's not a 4K console. Like, very few games will hit 4K on it.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, it's like Nintendo still got their IPs, which some are still going today, unlike Sony. But
yeah, Sony sells them all.
It's the business thing behind the scenes. That's why I compare the two. It's what they do behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I say they're the same, because basically Sony's reading from their playbook.
Yeah, pretty much. Sony's doing a lot of Nintendo-esque things right now.
Yeah,
when it comes to business tactics.
Yeah, like they just went in Nintendo store their playbook and say, yeah, that's how we be shitty to the consumers. That's one thing I don't like about either one. Is just the way to treat their consumers, like those who support them. Like,
yeah.
But
Sony's customer service this gen has been just fucking horrendous. They don't care because they're so far ahead of everyone. They just don't give a fuck.
Of course, they're just greedy. Like I said, like Yoshida, all that money's getting in. He's, like I said, he's sitting there chilling, sipping on champagne, just laughing.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get into the other thing about the PS4 Pro. Real kind of talked about it a little bit, but the rest of us will kind of give our thoughts on it. Sony was asked, will I need to pay to upgrade my existing PlayStation 4 games with the PlayStation 4 Pro to get the new features? And this is what Sony had to say. While nothing specifically prevents publishers and developers from this, we do not anticipate it at this time. Software updates enabling PS4 Pro features on any existing first-party titles like Infamous First Light or Uncharted 4 will be free. So Sony's first-party titles will be having free updates to the PS4 Pro. That's great. But Sony does not have a way to prevent third-party developers from charging you for a PS4 Pro patch for the game you already bought on a brand new console that you're buying from Sony, presumably because third parties asked Sony to do this. Otherwise, it would make no sense why Sony would allow this, why Sony would give these guys a way to charge you to play your already existing game just because it's on a new console, just to get what effectively is just the PC version of the game, to get the higher textures and higher resolutions. This is absolutely crazy that Sony would allow this. And it is most likely because third-party devs are bullying Sony about this, to be like, let's use an example. Well, you want us to update our game so you can sell your new console? Where's the benefit to us? You have to let us charge these customers. Maybe that's what's going on. We don't know. But the only thing we do know is Sony is not preventing these guys from charging you more money. Right now, there's 30 games that launch for the PS4 Pro that will get upgraded. As far as I know, those are free. And I think within the first year, there's going to be a total of 45 games. But there's nothing preventing these guys down the road starting to charge you like $10, $20. Oh, hey, you have Grand Theft Auto 5 here. You pay $20 more, and you can pay on the PS4 Pro in 4K. That's crazy. Like, what do you think about this, Rio?
Just like I was saying yesterday, man. Like, if I buy a brand new console, I want everything working day one. If I buy a 4K console, I want all my games on 4K. If I gotta wait on patches, if I gotta wait on all this stuff after I done purchased my product, then what's the point of buying the day one? That's fine and dandy that some of these games got already be ready on day one, 30 or 40 games, whatever. But what about the rest of the games? So what's the point? Like I say, I still ain't got a 4K TV. So what's the point of me even upgrading, to a so-called 4K gaming console, but a lot of the games don't even run in 4K, and these patches probably won't even come to like another year or two. We don't know. And for Sony to not mandate this, for these developers to basically not charge us, to patch these, to put these 4K patches on these games, I think that's asinine. That's fucking ridiculous, man. That's why I made that rant video on my channel yesterday, because I was like, what? I saw this coming a mile away. Sony, the stuff that they've been doing this whole entire generation, it just does not surprise me. And of course, you got some of these Sony guys always talking about, well, you always been anti-Sony. Why you anti-Sony? Say, motherfucker, are you just so stupid? You don't see the shit Sony has been doing these past few months. I see everything. Why we don't bring up when they tried to trademark Let's Play, but everybody want to get on Fine Brothers for trying to trademark React. So how come they can't get away with it, but Sony, they can get away with it? They've been getting away with a lot of stuff, and if somebody got to talk about it, reason why a lot of people don't take those Xbox enthusiasts any serious, like Crap Gamer or Mooch, because they're fanatics. Like, you can't take them serious. They're idiots. But I tried to be neutral. I know some of you guys tried to be neutral, and even Rich Review Tech flip flop ass tried to be neutral. He see the shit. A lot of us see the shit, man. You gotta have common sense. You have to have common sense to see the fuckery that Sony is doing. And if your fanboy isn't inside your head, it's not freaking like I say, if the fanboy inside you is preventing you from seeing the stupidity, then there's no way out. There's no cure for stupidity. Like, it's a lot of shit that Sony has been doing. It's really been pissing me off. And this won't even surprise me that like I said, it won't surprise me if we actually have to pay for some of these patches. That's why I said I'm gonna wait until I get more information. I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see if we're gonna actually pay for these patches. If I buy a 4K gaming machine, and I already got some PS4 games right now in the living room, sitting down, waiting to be playing. So you telling me that in order for me to get better visuals, I have to pay for extra? That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Last time I checked, didn't Sony say they trying to compete with PC? Do PC gamers have to pay for patches, or they can just go to their settings and just set it the way they want to set for free? Like, I still don't understand on how that's competing with PC. They have the freedom, They don't pay for online, in which we got to pay for online, and they just jack the price up. So that's competing with PC. I don't understand. Do we put a new graphics card in the console every 2 years, or every year, or every whatever you want? No, we got to buy a new console. So I don't see how this compete with PC. And Sony they've been wilding out lately, man. It's just so fucking ridiculous that they get away with a lot of this shit, man. I'm not saying I don't want to get PS4 Pro, because I would love to get it, because Horizon Zero Dawn looks like an amazing game. I love the game. It looks really, really beautiful. I would get a 4K TV and a PS4 Pro for that game. We need games. We need exclusives. That Spider-Man game we saw, that God of War game we saw, that Days Gone. Okay, where the fuck are these games at? Or why? Like, what year is these games coming out? That is the issue. We got 3 hardware: the Slim, the VR, and the Pro, but we don't have one exclusive for the holiday. What the fuck? And Horizon Zero Dawn coming out sometime next year. Okay, after that, then what else? I know Gran Turismo got delayed sometime next year, but what else is after that? I don't understand. So whenever E3 comes around, they're gonna still show Spider-Man, Days Gone, God of War, but still don't give us no release year. Like, it seems like Sony is focusing more on hardware, but not focusing more on software. And I really hope Nintendo come and dethrone Sony, in which I doubt it. If they do this shit the way they need to do it, if they play their cards right, Nintendo, and get all third parties back, concentrate a lot of the first party games. So more first parties mean that more sales going to come to the system. More sales come to the system mean more third parties come. If you get more people to buy more third parties on your system, then Sony gonna act humble again. They already starting to act humble a little bit. since Microsoft is actually started to come alive. But whenever Sony is not number one in this gaming industry anymore, I think they're gonna change. But right now they're number one. They don't give a damn, and it's sad, man. So that's all I gotta say, man. Fuck Sony.
Okay, Sinister, what are your thoughts on this? Sony allowing third-party devs to be able to charge you for pro patches.
Just like I said, the last thing is just greed. I mean, it's just the way. I mean, and Sony's just allowing me to do it because, just like they said, Sony don't give two shits about any of us, so they let those devs do whatever they want. You know, and still the consumers are the ones who, trying to end up paying for it, but trying to make them pay for it, but shit. But as far as I know, I mean, basically, Real already covered what I was gonna say, but that's like I said, man, it's just greed and bad things happen to greedy people. So that's all I got to say about it.
Okay. I just want to give a little example of something like Real was kind of talking about, how PC players don't have to pay for stuff that the pro is going to charge you for. This is a perfect example because it just happened. BioShock Ultimate Collection comes out. They half-ass remaster the games. It's essentially just the PC version, and they charge you $60. But if you own the game on Steam, you get the update for free. You know what I mean? So I bought the collection of BioShock games for $8, and then I got them updated for free. Whereas if I would have had to spend $60, $80 here, I would have had to spend $80 to get that same collection for the Xbox One. Or PS4, doesn't matter. That kind of shit is retarded. And it's just PC settings being brought over to consoles. It's so stupid. And then they want to charge you for patches on top of that. This is getting outrageous. Stuff like that is the reason why Sony thinking the Pro is going to compete with PC is laughable. It's just laughable. You don't pay to play online for PC. You don't pay to play at ultra settings. What are they thinking? Saying stupid things like that and then denying mods and all this other shit. It's just dumb. But what are your thoughts on this, Retro? See here? I guess not. What are your thoughts about this, Nick?
I don't think it'll actually come to that.
You don't think
everybody? I don't think so. I mean, people like Sony said they weren't going to do it, and everybody took that as a confirmation. That means everybody else is going to do it. We don't know about that yet. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do that, but I don't think
after all the other shit they've done, I would assume they're going to do it.
It's there's no way. They can't possibly be that dumb. I just really. I mean, at one point, even somebody there's got to say it's probably not such a good idea. I mean, there has to be some voice of common sense in that they're going to listen to eventually.
I don't know.
So
we'll see. What is Retro back or is he gone still?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts about this, Retro? Sony allowing third-party devs to charge you for patches.
It's I feel at this point, and this might just be my own personal bias after being screwed by Sony with the PS3, but I feel like their whole reason of doing this is so they can blame things on third-party developers for their games. Because, I mean, figure when you have issues with online gaming right now, even though they supposedly say you pay to play on their servers, even though you're playing on third-party servers, they blame it on the developers of the third-party games, which I find interesting because you tell your people on PS4 that they're paying for premium service on Sony servers, when in truth, you're playing on the third-party game developer servers, and they won't tell you that until you say you have issues.
Yep, then they're very clear about that.
So now they're giving them more freedom only so they can blame things on them when there's issues. On top of that, this guarantees that third-party developers will work with them, because if their fan base just rolls over and goes with it, they can do whatever they want and still make money. Let's be honest. If this wasn't gaming and your boss let you walk over him and still paid you a check, what would you do? Just saying, being completely honest. So it's like the
Completely walk over 'em,
PlayStation
yeah.
fans are gonna have to stand up for themselves to make this change. Developers and Sony
Standing
that
up
they're
for
not
themselves
standing for
is
this.
not something gamers do anymore.
Oh,
That's
you're
why we have
absolutely right.
$50
They
season
don't.
passes. That's why we have microtransaction and full price games. That's why we have cutout content thrown at us as day one DLC because people just accept it, and they're gonna accept this, and it's gonna happen.
It's true. Like I'm playing Fire Emblem right now and I'm enjoying it, but I'm just in chapter 7 now, and it said DLC. So I go to the DLC page. It's like 20 DLCs. So you mean to tell me I have to buy the same game 3 times to get the complete story, and there's still 20 DLCs on top of that? How is that possible?
Because Nintendo, unfortunately, has caught the DLC bug, and they're going crazy with it. They tested the waters with Mario Kart 8. They did a great job. They gave you a lot of value. Then they gave us a season pass with Hyrule Warriors. Again, great value, a lot of content. And then they came to Smash Brothers, and you pretty much got $60 worth of DLC in that game. And then they took Fire Emblem and split it into 3 games and put DLC on top. So they love DLC now because they know their fan base will eat it up. And it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah, it's
because nobody ever has a problem with it.
Like it's like
ever has a
Nick said
problem.
earlier, and I completely agree. Like everyone's about buzzwords these days. Everything media based, and it's sad because the internet age is about buzzwords. So it's part of the reason it's so popular. People say words like premium, teraflop, stuff like that, and people just get off on it.
Just
And
get crazy about it. Yeah.
unfortunate because internet computer technology these days and the internet is what's making that so acceptable. Because when you think about it, even if you, what's the most popular way for a website, a blog, anything else to grow online?
Clickbait.
You have to have certain buzzwords people are using to get your
Yeah.
site to be seen. So companies are using buzzwords because they know that people are naturally attracted to them in this day. That's how the internet works. And with their hard, solid products, they think it should be the same way, which is completely retarded. But for some reason, they have this association that that's the way it works. And it's ridiculous because they said they're competing with the PC, and PC gaming is about being pro-consumer and options. And that pissed me off about Apple too. Sorry about this rant, but I have to bring it up. People talk about how they love Apple because it's successful and it's considered #1 right now. But anyone that really uses technology, like I hear a lot of people around our age group talk about how Apple's so great, especially at college, which is a headache. But if you notice, every business you go to uses Windows. Anybody that really uses computers uses Windows. And it's not because Windows is the best, it's because Windows gives you use third-party software. Because you use Windows, but you're not using Internet Explorer or any of that other nonsense.
Yeah,
It's
use
the
Chrome.
options. And Apple is one of those companies where they take away options, just like Sony's doing. But for some reason, people like less options. It's like they can't think for themselves, and they expect you to do everything for them. Like people act like options
that's a gaming thing.
are
Like,
bad.
a lot of console gamers, I don't know what it is.
But it's not just a gaming thing because it's with Apple too. Because think about the MP3 player prior to like iTunes and stuff. iTunes makes you go on their website to get music. So if you have an iPhone or anything else, you can't even go to get any other music. Like let's say there's some small artist you want to listen to. If they're not on iTunes, you're not going to be able to get them because you can't go to other sites where the MP3 player, or you can go to any website and download this other person's music. It's less options, and people seem to like less options, which is the dumbest thing ever.
It's so dumb.
I'm paying you to tell me what to do. I want to feel like you're my mother or father. But that's all I got. End of rant.
Okay, so anybody else got anything to talk about this, or should we move on to Nintendo?
Yep.
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
All right.
Nintendo.
What about Gears of War 3? People are already talking about the sales.
You mean Gears of War 4?
Yeah, 4.
I don't care.
Are they good or bad?
I think it did 600-ish thousand.
Yeah. That's not
You know
including
what did really bad was Forza Horizon 3. Let me find it here. I know that game did terrible.
Yeah. Well, maybe it has a lot to do with play anywhere you want it. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people bought it digitally.
like I got my Gears of War digitally because I wanted to play it on PC and Xbox to see the difference.
That's how you get to play anywhere it's digitally instead of physically.
Don't you still get the code if you bought a disc?
No, you have to buy it digitally to get the PC version.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
obviously. Otherwise, you could just download the PC version and return your disc.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Let's see. Forza Horizon 3. Yeah, okay. So Forza Horizon 3, which came out in September, mind you, is only at 580,000. That's terrible.
I won't say Gears did bad because they still did a little bit better than Gears 1, and Gears 1 still managed to sell over 6 million. So you gotta remember back then, like digital gaming wasn't really all that popular. I know 360 and PS3 got digital games, but it seems like everybody's is going more digitally these days than about 7-8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
and this tracking on VG charts is only up until October 15. So obviously Gears of War would have sold more after that, but I would assume Gears is maybe around 1 million at this point. It's not terrible, but it's Gears. You know what I mean? Like Gears is it's right up there with Halo. It should have been doing better, but obviously with digital sales, you don't know because they don't really announce that.
Kind of like Halo 5, like people looking at the fact that they saying it's the poorest selling of the franchise, but they hit 5 million before the end of 2015 last year. Like a lot of people have bought it digitally, even though the VG chart says that it's like around 4 million something. It was at 5 million, including digital, before the end of last year. So we don't know the sales of it right now. It could be
the other thing I would like
to
say too is, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. In my personal opinion, just when it comes to anything in life, I just feel like you shouldn't go past a trilogy. It's very rare that you can do a trilogy in a game, a book, a movie, and it still has that same spark that it did with like the prior parts of the series. I feel like because like even if it is good, I feel like it's not as good by most people's perspectives. Longer a new idea. On top of that, like you have the whole thing of people just naturally getting tired when there's too much of something. Like you can have a best friend that you're cool with, but if you saw him or her every day, you would get tired of them. Like you just can't have too much of something. And I feel like things that go past
to be
3
fair, with
usually
Gears,
do
it's
bad.
been like 4 years since the last one.
I mean, that's a little better, but I know with me personally, I just don't like going past 3 with things. It with a couple of movies, didn't like it. I tried it with a couple of games, and I can especially say that's the case with Sonic.
That's because Sonic's just terrible.
I still feel like Sonic 3 was the best game. There was a time as a child that I thought Sonic
you're cracking up big time.
Really. There was a time as a child I thought Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 were really good, but they're a lot more mediocre now that I'm older and I go back on the games because they're so glitchy and buggy that it's infuriating.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but at least with Gears, like they have reboot the franchise effectively, and it's gonna be it's pretty much for people that never played Gears because you don't actually need to play the old ones to play this, which I kind of like. But obviously, for old gearheads like myself, there's a lot of like throwbacks, and obviously Marcus is there, so that's always nice to see.
Gotcha.
But let's talk about some Nintendo. It's about Capcom and the Switch. Let me just find the article here. So Capcom was talking to some news site, and they were asked about the Switch, and Capcom said, "We are currently carrying out research with regards to multi-platform implementation of software for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One onto the Nintendo Switch. However, we do not feel that there are different. However, we do feel that there are differences in the desired direction and the play style of the Nintendo Switch and that of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One." Let's see, what else did they say? At Capcom, we determine which platform to release a title after considering the features of both our software and the hardware in question, believing we must bring the enjoyment of our games to their maximum potential. It is excellent to have the market invigorated with new hardware launches like Nintendo Switch following first party. In order to introduce our own content, we are currently moving forward with internal planning and analysis as a partner company. So effectively, they're saying we don't know if we're supporting Switch yet. We're testing out games, but the Switch is very different from the PlayStation and the Xbox because you take it on the go. So we're not sure if we're putting our games on it. That's what I get from reading that. That's what I hear in my head when I read that. They're not sure if they want to bring their games over. They're testing stuff, but we'll have to see. What do you guys think about this? Why don't we start with you, Nick?
Well, if they are planning, like I said earlier, I'm pretty much going to tell you what's going to end up on the Switch from Capcom if they do decide to port, quote, PS4 games, Xbox One games to the Switch. It's going to be Resident Evil Remaster, Resident Evil 4 Remaster, Resident Evil Remaster, Resident Evil 5 Remaster, Resident Evil 6 Remaster. That's pretty much what has Capcom done in the past couple years besides Street Fighter 5 and a fuckload of Resident Evil remasters. Outside of Monster Hunter for the Wii.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter.
Another more remasters.
Like, seriously, I mean, other than, I mean, that's all I can. They're not definitely not gonna put Street Fighter 5 on Switch. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
That's exclusive to Sony.
Yep.
That's actually a mercy to gamers now instead of like an actual like. It's like, yeah, that's Sony's problem having Street Fighter 5 now. Fuck that game.
They can keep that shit.
But like, yeah, people don't understand that PS4, like Street Fighter 5 isn't stuck on PS4. PS4 is stuck with Street Fighter 5. But
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so that's the only thing I can think they would even bring to the system if they're planning on doing that, because I don't see anything else coming unless they by some miracle decide, hey, but they said porting games. So like they said, if they didn't say anything about new games, which we're pretty sure Monster Hunter is going to come to that thing in some form.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, the other games will probably just be more of the Resident Evil remasters. And by off chance, they might try to put that Devil May Cry remaster on there, which I don't think they're going to do that. But yeah, don't do that, Capcom. Just please don't do that.
Oh, Devil May Cry 4? They'll probably do that one too.
No, not 4. The other one.
Oh, DMC?
DMC, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if it comes to that, that's pretty much what you're going to get. You're just going to get all the Resident Evil remasters that all started on the GameCube. Well, most of them started on GameCube, went over to the other system, got a remaster, and now we're going to end up on the Switch as another like remaster, whatever you want to call it. So I won't be surprised one bit if that actually happens. But I'm pretty sure that's where we're going with that. And if they make anything new, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I think we're just gonna get a bunch of Resident Evil remasters.
Maybe
what
we'll get
think,
Mega Man,
the Mega Man collection. Yeah,
yeah, probably that too.
It'll be a 3DS port.
What's up?
What do you think about this reel about Capcom? What they said?
I know the other day Capcom they did mention that they would like to make the games, even though PS4 and Xbox One share the same games, but they want to make the games kind of different, you know, to make it more Nintendo appeal, kind of how like Platinum Games did with Bayonetta. You know, so, you know, that's fine then if they do something like that. But yeah, I do expect remasters to come, and Capcom, they really hadn't done anything in a very long time. We know they got a whole bunch of franchise, but they just refuse to utilize the strengths, man. A lot of these games that they have, man, like Marvel Comics versus Capcom, Onimusha, you still got Dino Crisis has been used in a long time. Of course, you got Mega Man that really appeals to the Nintendo crowd. So if they're gonna be, if they talking about supporting the Nintendo Switch, I think the first thing they need to do is get Mega Man on the Nintendo system. I think it will sell like hotcakes. If they could do a game similar to Mighty Number 9, but a lot better, it will sell very well because Mega Man is really the home of Nintendo. It always has been home of Nintendo, and that's what their main focus needs to be: is Mega Man and Monster Hunter, because they know the fans are going to eat. They're going to eat on that. And as far as Resident Evil, well, I would say the fans will. I think Nintendo fans they play Resident Evil because remember the GameCube was I believe it was a time exclusive. Resident Evil 4 for a while.
Yeah, 4 was a time exclusive.
4 and 0.
Now 4 is everywhere.
Then it eventually went on the PS2 and the Xbox and all that. But I think Resident Evil would do. I think it would do well on the Switch. I don't think it would do it as well as a Mega Man and of course Monster Hunter. But you never know if the way Nintendo, if they market this thing the way they need to market, get a whole bunch of dope gamers back on board. Sky's the limit, man. They can do whatever they want. Get a lot of these older franchises back on Nintendo. Use some of those franchises that we hadn't seen in a long time. Like I said a while ago, Onimusha, Dino Crisis. Like make these games exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, so the PS4 and the Xbox One don't get it. Capcom, they got a lot of IPs that they don't utilize anymore, and the Switch will be perfect. Capcom, I know they've been starving for money. They haven't been doing very well, but if they could somehow team up with Nintendo and use a lot of their older franchise on the Switch, I think they'll be a really good thing. But yes, we know Capcom, they said they are considering it. But of course, it's a new system. Of course, they get gangs, but time will tell if it wound up being a flop or it will be a success. I think it'll be a success, and I don't know. I think Capcom's going to support them, but I don't want to get too confident. But I think they're going to support them. But as far as full-on support, I'm not sure. That's just my take.
Okay, Sinister, what are your thoughts about Capcom? What they're talking about potentially bringing ports over to the Switch?
Well, yeah, like Real mentioned, like some of the IPs they're not even used and bring it to the Switch. Heck, have some new life on a new system, stuff like that. Because like I said, you're not gonna see some of those other than Resident Evil or Street Fighter. That's basically you see on the Xbox and PlayStation, but. Like I said, Bionic Commando, Onimusha, of course, Mega Man, big on Nintendo. So just bring some of those IPs back, bring some new life, and bring to the Switch. The people will buy it, stuff like that. Especially like the Mega Man, since platforming does well on Nintendo systems and stuff like that. It's just. Yeah, but Capcom they need to come up with something new. Because like I said, Street Fighter 5 was trash. To me, it was trash. Just when it first came out, but just the way it was broken. When they released it, just trying to rush it for Evo tournaments and stuff like that. But anyway,
yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah, but like I said, they're the best two franchises. They're running it to the ground. And stuff like that. Of course, with Resident Evil, yeah, they're rebooting it, like with the 7 trying to go back to its roots. So if it does like that, have like a Resident Evil like game for Nintendo, it was so great. But I don't have much to say. But basically, really, you already covered, most of it.
Yeah. Okay. Retro, did you talk about this yet, or
not yet? And surprisingly, I have a different opinion. I'm pretty positive to Capcom in this particular case with the Switch, and here's why. One thing that we forgot to mention is that it's true Capcom gives a little support to Nintendo as far as consoles, but they are open to working with Nintendo. I mean, they did so with Mega Man for Smash Bros. And another thing we tend to forget is they give Nintendo a ton of support when it comes to their handhelds, like 3DS and stuff. Because if you remember, you got like the Gunvolt games.
Yeah.
You do get Mega Man games on there. Phoenix Wright is a very popular franchise on 3DS, and you get all his new games on there, and those are new ideas. So, since the Switch is a hybrid console between mobile and a traditional console in this aspect, we may see more for them for the console itself, like they do with the 3DS support. And I think that will be more the direction in this particular case.
Yep. Remember, Resident Evil Revelations was exclusive to the 3DS for a while until they ported up to the system. So we might have a similar situation. Maybe we're not. We might get I won't say get Resident Evil 7 first. It's not gonna happen. Maybe a different Resident Evil game. You never know.
Maybe Revelation.
Yeah, it's like the nature of the Switch being mobile fits the contract that they prefer to be more favorable with Nintendo.
Yeah, because that would work for their Monster Hunter series.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But as far as ports go, like PS4 and Xbox One ports, it seems like they're still on the fence about it.
Yeah, I don't think they'll get those.
Seems like Capcom wants to specifically work on ones that are good for on the go. That's what I see when you read between the lines. Like they're not sure about the core experience games.
Well, yeah, I remember Nintendo did make Capcom some money off of Smash Brothers with Mega Man and Ryu. It made some money off of that.
Yeah, but that's Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I know.
Of course they're gonna make money off that. Yeah, Smash Bros is one of the best-selling franchises.
Smash Bros is just like a cult following right now. They can put anything in Smash Bros and it would work. And it's like we can't even argue that now because there were people that were actually using Mii Fighters and Wii Fit Trainer, and those two were like the worst two picks for actual character. Like you could put me as a Smash Bros character and somebody would probably main me in a tournament. Like it's absurd.
I mean, hell, well, look at Mario Kart. That's probably number 2 behind Smash, but still, I mean.
Yeah,
even Mario Kart does anything because when you go to the arcade versions for it, they be having like Tamagotchi and Pac-Man and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody else got anything about Capcom, or we can just start going into the questions we have in the chat here?
We can go with questions.
Okay.
Question time.
Okay, question time. Of course, guys, feel free to add more questions while we're talking. We'll take a few here.
There's one. Yeah,
here's one. Here's my question. What do you want the new Super Mario Switch game to be? I want something more similar to Mario 64, where you have effectively an open world and you can just explore and do whatever you want. Because while 3D World is an awesome game, I do love that game. It's very linear for a Mario game, like a 3D Mario game. So I would want something a little more freedom. I think would be nice.
Yeah, like some more open world and some more variety, something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you guys want from a new Mario game?
Yeah, like use some of the other characters other than outside of Mario and Luigi. Yeah, like hell, like Toads or
I need my Yoshi too.
Yeah, Yoshi. Hell, I hate to say it, even Princess and Daisy. Have them team up or something. So of course, Toad. Peaches likes to get kidnapped all the time because she has Stockholm syndrome, but
she does.
Yeah.
And if they put Yoshi in the game, I want to be able to scan my Yarn Yoshi amiibo and get Yarn Yoshi in the game. That has to happen. I don't care if the art style clash.
Right.
What we want from new Mario retro?
I honestly don't know because I don't play Mario games too much. I would say the only thing I really want from a Mario game is a traditional Paper Mario game. That's it.
So you're not a big Color Splash fan then?
Nope.
How about here's all I want to add.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's like a dream thing, but of course, I don't think this is not gonna happen anyway. But seeing Mario probably cross over to somebody else's universe, say like Mario cross over into somehow he transported into Hyrule, something like that. That he needs an item, and of course he needs to team up with Link to get it. He has to fight Ganondorf or any other of those.
Oh, that'd be crazy. And
Yeah.
then Bowser chases Mario through and teams up with Ganon.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, see how then Ganon and Ganondorf and Bowser go at it, something like that.
That'd be interesting. I think that'll actually happen one day. Eventually, the worlds will intertwine.
Yeah, because it'd be kind of weird seeing Mario team up with Samus. Of course, even Mario, he has the space game with the Galaxy series. Something like,
Oh yeah, Federation Force, and Mario just goes and kills them all. That'd be great.
yeah.
What do you want to see in the next Mario game, Real?
I'll say probably a mixture between Mario 64 and Galaxy. I really love both of those games. I would love to see more. Mario. It's never been a series known for a story. Like it needs to evolve. It needs to evolve. Like have the characters say a little bit more. Have more of a story. Not the same old crap, man. Don't get me wrong. The games are phenomenal. It's fun. But
That's
I'm
exactly
just saying
why I
that
like Paper Mario because Paper Mario had a story.
Yeah, Paper
Yeah,
Mario
it
is
needs
the
to
one that's
evolve.
supposed to give you a story. Like a normal Mario game is more of just a platformer.
that's what I'm saying. Like we got enough platformers already. 3D World is even though it got 3D in the name, but let's be honest, it's a platforming game. We got too many platformers this generation. I'm just sick of the platformers. Like I get burnt out of platformers, kind of like I get burnt out first person shooters. But like I said, I think they need to evolve the series and make it more of a story driven game, and use the elements of Mario 64 meets Mario Galaxy. And I think it will do good, man. Just evolve it a little bit. I'm not talking about make it more realistic and and having Mario shooting people in blood and guts like next gen 720 wants.
Oh, that'd be terrible. That would be terrible.
It's like GTA, like those GTA Mario.
Yeah, GTA Mario. No, I ain't talking about that kind of Mario game. Just evolve it more, man.
Okay. I get what you're saying. You want a little more story in your Mario game.
Yeah.
Just don't do weird stuff like Sonic.
Yeah, don't get weird. Some furry ass shit. Nick, what do you want to see in the new Mario game?
Online.
I
know that's like asking from the moon from Nintendo, but
four-player online co-op.
Yeah,
that would be a lot of fun. I think.
I really don't see it happening, but it'd be a nice surprise if they said, "Hey, we're gonna put online co-op in this because
the trolling would be endless. It'd be amazing.
It'd make a lot of sense for Mario Party too.
Mario Party,
yeah,
if the new Mario Party isn't online, just don't even fucking buy it. Like that would be unacceptable. It was unacceptable with
nobody bought it anyway.
Good. They need to do in the next if it's multiplayer. I don't know if they're gonna do like they do Mario 3D World, which I hope they do because I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, the 3D World multiplayer was fun.
It's like add the online. Damn, it's not that hard. Stop pretending it is Nintendo.
Oh, we'll see. Can't judge them yet with the Switch Online. We got to figure out what they're doing because you got to remember, like they reconfirmed that DNA is not making games for the Switch. They're simply working on the online. So I have very high expectations for their new network.
That's good enough.
Yeah. Let's see. Who is buying Pokemon Sun and Moon? I am getting both Sun and Moon, one for myself and one for my girl. What are you guys? You guys getting Pokemon? I know you are, Retro.
Yeah, I already got it pre-ordered off Amazon.
Which one, Sun or Moon?
I got Sun.
Okay, good. I'm
I
playing
was
Sun as
listening
well.
to a lot of theories, and Sun isn't really based on fire, but it's based on like light alchemy. And I thought that it was like pretty interesting in that premise. So I want to see how the story unfolds on that version.
Ah. Anybody else getting those? Or one of them?
I haven't played Pokemon since Red and Blue.
Honestly, I'll tell you guys, like story mode isn't it's interesting if you like the lore, but competitive Pokemon battling is what it's all about. So if you like a strategy RPG game that's really about numbers and algorithms, then you'll like Pokemon. But if you don't, then you won't. 'Cause that's what competitive battling is all about. It's about crunching
I'm just playing
numbers.
for the campaign.
I battle online. Like I play Showdown and stuff sometimes.
Oh damn! Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna go in on that. I'm just gonna play the Pokemon campaign and then move on. Let's see here. What do you think of the idea of Super Mario Dimension? Oh, he's talking about something else. Do you think Nintendo will show us some new IPs and bring back some of their old ones for the Switch at E3 2017? Yeah, I would hope so because that's going to be their main console.
I think Nintendo needs to do everything that they hadn't done. Everything that they did with the Wii U, do the complete opposite. So yes.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely think they're going to show us a lot of good stuff at E3. Obviously, the console will be out by then, and we will have most likely had Zelda and Mario, possibly Mario Kart Switch, and maybe Smash Switch or whatever the hell they're going to call it.
We need Metroid.
So I think at E3, you're probably going to see a teaser for Metroid.
The deal with that is I've been preaching this for a while. Like, you know, Call of Duty has been skipping the Wii U for the past couple of years. Of course, we got Black Ops 2 and Ghost, whatever. But, you know, just judging the fact that the Metro Prime series has been a first-person shooter, and since the Wii U, you know, was their first HD system, I thought we was going to actually get a online multiplayer, you know, team deathmatch, whatever, Metroid, something. Like, I thought it was going to be the answer to not having a Call of Duty, and Nintendo still want to be Nintendo. And I thought that was going to be their answer, but no, they gave us Federation Force, man. So that really triggered me to rant about Nintendo all goddamn time. That was unforgivable, dude.
That was pretty crazy. Well, where was the question again? Let me read that again. Where did that go? I lost it. Oh, okay. So Retro, what do you think? Like, is Nintendo going to show us some new IPs and bring back some old ass IPs when we see E3 2017? What do you think?
I really hope so. I mean, we haven't heard much of the game list now, so I feel like we're going to get a lot of ports for at least half of its year. I hope that's wrong, but what I would like to see,
a port fest at the launch because a lot of Wii U games are going to come over because just not enough people played them. So
exactly, like I can't shake that feeling. But if they did actually do a lot of IPs, I think it'd be a nice way to really do some real creative stuff with the console, especially since it's going to be like mobile too. Like, I know Smash games take a long time to make. So let's say hypothetically towards the end of the Switch's lifetime, they decide to make a game called Smash Switch. It plays the same format as traditional Smash, except you can pick two characters and kind of switch between them in the game, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom. And it could actually make it more interesting and competitive too, because you can be playing against somebody and you control both characters by switching between them, but you can do that to try to counter different matchups and stuff too. So it could be really interesting. Or what if you were able to swap between the characters like mid combo or something like that? Like, imagine being able to switch between two characters and putting, like, say, Sheik or Zero Suit Summons tagged with Bayonetta. Like, combos would be absurd.
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that. Or they could even do Mario Kart Switch, and it could be like a new iteration of Double Dash, and then add like some new mechanics and stuff to it. I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool, actually.
But that's all I got.
Okay. Just give me a minute here. Sinister, what are your thoughts about this? And I will be right back.
What was the question again?
Do you think Nintendo's going to show us new IPs or bring back some old IPs at E3 2017? I'll be right back.
That's a tough one, but I like to see him bring back some of their old IPs, stuff like that. But I mean, I'm sure outside of Mario, Pokemon, and and of course Zelda. I mean, I like to see him like at least make a new Donkey Kong, a new Kid Icarus, just to name a few. But that's the only ones I could really think of. Of course, like I said, redo Star Fox, redo Metro because Miyamoto's meddling, kind of ruined them. But that's all I got on that.
Well, I think Nintendo needs to focus. I know that they want to get some ports over because, of course, the Wii U was a flop and a lot of people didn't own a Wii U, so
Right.
it will make sense to I guess port over Mario Kart and Smash and Splatoon. Basically the heavy hitters on the Wii U. Even it's so really well on the Wii U. It did on the small install base, but they can port over that Switch, and if the Switch wound up being a blockbuster, something similar to the PlayStation 4, if they get like PlayStation 4 type sales, as far as the hardware, then yeah, them games gonna sell really good. So that I kind of understand that, but at the same time, if there's more ports than new games, then I would have an issue with that.
Yeah, but here's the thing: since you mentioned Splatoon, I mean, heck, don't they have like those tournaments and stuff like that? Because I know, like, of course, we know we saw in that trailer, but something like that, or that with Mario Kart, something like that, just to bring in like viewers and consumers and stuff like that. Because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of fans for those two, especially for those two. I mean, but
yeah. Are you talking about? Are they just gonna have? They're gonna start doing like esports with Splatoon? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, of course, you saw that team, like those two esports, those athletes in that trailer, the Switch.
Yeah,
trailer.
it looks like they're gonna get into esports.
I think they need to.
I think it's very important for them to do it, and Splatoon's the game to do it with because it's their only competitive shooting game.
It's very important for them to do a lot of stuff. Like it's like they so far behind.
Yeah,
like
they're like taking baby steps with everything.
Yeah, and then
the esports, the region locking, the YouTube, like it's just so much, man, that Nintendo could be doing right now, but they refuse
because they do it with Smash Bros.
Yeah.
But then again, now that I think about it, they didn't even want to do it with Smash Bros. Originally. Like that community fought their butts off to keep Smash alive. Like it's insane what they did. By the way, if y'all still didn't see the Smash documentary, you need to. Like that was a pretty touching story. They did so much work
to get Nintendo to even try.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I've watched that documentary 3 times, and each time I watch it, I swear it looks like they were just trying to make a movie, and it didn't really happen. They're like, we used to play Underground Smash over in the West Coast, and over on the East Side, everybody was talking trash because the styles were different. Like, I was like, are you serious? This really went down. but it was such a good story.
Okay, so why don't we take one more question here? I see one from Matthew and one from EJ. Should Retro Studios announce the new IP, or do you think Nintendo should have done 4K gaming for the Switch?
Oh,
4K gaming on the go?
Oh, hell no.
That thing would have like a 30-minute battery life and cost like $1,000.
30 minutes, like 5 minutes. It would have been the Nintendo title screen, and then your battery would have died.
Yep. The second you turn it on, plug me in, bitch. That would have been a horrible mistake for Nintendo to do 4K, just like it seems like a mistake Sony and Microsoft are going for it. But as far as Retro Studios, should they announce that they're making a new IP or Metroid Prime 4? Honestly, Retro Studios is big enough to do 2 games at once, so I don't see why they couldn't be doing both.
Yeah, they've been hiring for like
how many years? For a while now. Like they were supposed to show off a Wii U game like over a year ago.
Yeah, we already know what happened to that.
Well, yeah, I know of it. Let's see here. Give me this shit. So I guess what do you guys think? You want to see a new game from Metro, or do you want to see them make Metroid?
Man, I want my Metroid. Yeah, I would love to see a new game, but you gotta remember, Metroid is still one of Nintendo's flagship titles. And when you go so long without
I
you
wouldn't go
know,
that far.
I would. The Metro Prime series sold pretty well.
Fucking Mario Party sells better than Metroid.
Mm,
I'll be honest, I've never gotten into Metroid before, so I don't know how to feel about it.
It's not one of their better selling franchises. It's one of their better franchises, but it doesn't sell that well. Is what I'm saying.
well, the other M didn't. It really cracked the million because of course, a lot of people didn't really like it, but the Metro Prime series, basically was their best sellers.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm saying, like, it's kind of how what Shokyo was saying in this video the other day. Like, Nintendo, they always trying to find ways to ruin their franchises, like the Paper Mario series. They had a good thing with that, and the Metro Prime series, they had a good thing with that, but they want to change it. And just look how that turned out. Like, that's what pisses me off with Nintendo. They want to change. They don't change for the better. They change for the worst. So they need to try to go back to their roots, man, and stop trying to change shit up. Go back to what we love, not what we hate. That's what they need to do.
Okay, I'm just putting out some codes in the chat here for the peeps, since they're always supporting us. I thought throw some games at them. There you go, guys. There's some 3 games. Whoever gets them gets them. I can't control who gets it. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and end it here? This is another week of real. No, I almost called it your show. No. This is Tuesday. I'm tired.
I'm taking over this piece.
Another week. Oh,
I'm taking over this channel.
I got my headset in. I'm talking about fuckboys for a second.
No, you're right. It is the real talk.
But yeah, thanks for coming out, everyone. As we always do, we'll be back next Tuesday. But of course, we'll be back on Thursday as well for Real Talk with the Real Gamer. We'll see if what we're talking about. I'm not sure. I'm sure some fuckboy shit will come up by then.
Yeah, of course.
We'll know by then. And I think, the PS4 Pro will be out by then. So we'll see if Real Gamer buckles under the pressure and buys one day one, because we know he's going to.
No, I ain't gonna, man. I'm broke.
But yeah, why don't you guys give your little outros and we'll get out of here. Why don't we start with you, Real?
Oh, what's up, man? It's your boy Gaming27. Thanks for having me back on the podcast. And we like to talk about fuckboys. We like to talk about Sony on how they suck, and of course some other fuckboy nonsense. That's what we roll. That's what we do, man. That's what we do on this channel every Tuesday, man. So stay tuned next Tuesday when we talk about fuckboys. But on Thursday with the Real Talk with the Real Gamer, we stay classy. So stay tuned.
Monocles will be had. Okay, Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, what's happening, y'all? Sinister here. Enjoy this time of the Den of Sin. Talking about fuckboys and how Sony sucks dick and stuff like that.
They do suck dick. Like, let's be real, they're fucking garbage.
Yeah, but I enjoyed my time with my brothers in arms here, and be back Thursday with the Real Talk with the Rich Gamer.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I got $2.25 in my bank account right now.
Bullshit.
A lot of money.
You mean
you're supposed to give away like 5 copies of Zelda Breath of the Wild from the podcast tomorrow on Thursday?
What?
So you're supposed to give out like 5 copies of Breath of the Wild?
Whoa. I never said 5. You
I heard 5.
No, you want to hear 5. I never said 5.
Here first, Real Gamer will be giving out 7 copies of Breath of the Wild, a game that doesn't even exist.
17 copies? Jesus.
You done lost your damn mind.
Did somebody say 70 copies of Breath of the Wild? Holy crap, you were a generous man.
No, Nick said that.
I said,
man, y'all tripping there.
Shit. All right, Retro, why don't we give your outro here?
What's up, YouTube? Retro Bro here. Had a lot of fun tonight, and we'll see you on Real Talk with the Real Gamer on Thursday.
All right. Thanks for coming by. And of course, we'll end with Mr. Nick.
From Gamer Dick Incorporated, here for another episode of The Den of Sin. So yes, join us Thursday when Real Gamer will give out a free copy for everybody who buys a Nintendo Switch when it comes out. A free copy of Breath of the Wild will come. We'll give.
That's a damn lie. Don't listen to him.
If you buy the Switch,
Lie.
and go to his podcast, you were guaranteed a copy.
I said I was giving away a couple of copies. And
A couple, eh?
A couple and some small prizes. That's what I said.
Pallet at his house ready to go.
Is the small prize the Wii U version?
Oh, shit. Okay, never mind. I'm done.
All right, we're out of here,
See you
boys. We'll
guys
see you
later.
on Thursday. Enjoy the election. Have some fun before reality sets in. And yeah,
It's already hell on earth out here. Who you talking
Oh,
about?
that's why I went to drink last night.
I'd be drinking right now, but I gotta get work for early tomorrow. Or work tomorrow.
all right. See you guys, everybody.